Hi, everyone. It's Tracy Bateman here, the Math Specialist from Student Support Services. So we're continuing the videos that Joe and I have been working on. And something that we decided that we wanted to talk to you a little bit about was health insurance. Now, if you're in college, you're probably fortunate enough to be on your parents' health insurance at this time. But once you're out of school, you are going to have to be starting to worry about health insurance on your own. Getting health insurance, understanding health insurance, what does it cover, what does it cost, things like that. If you're fortunate enough to get a job that provides you with health insurance, there's still going to be a lot of things about it that you might not have ever dealt with, that you might not understand. So we're going to go through some of the basic terminology and some of the things that you just might need a little better understanding of. So one of the first things that you're going to hear people talk about when they talk about health insurance is premiums. And basically what that is talking about is that's the monthly cost to have health insurance or for your insurance coverage. Now, if your employer provides health insurance, they're going to pay part of the premium and you're going to pay part of the premium. So that's something that you're going to need to ask about and find out about is how much do they pay? How much do you pay? The next important word you're going to hear is a deductible. And what a deductible talks about is the amount of money that you have to pay for any of your services before the insurance company starts paying for services. Okay. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about out-of-pocket costs. And that simply means the money that you personally pay for your healthcare services throughout the year. So for example, the premiums that you're paying, the deductible that you pay, something called co-insurance, and then maybe flat fees for certain services. Okay, so for example, here are a couple things that could be out-of-pocket costs for you. You might have insurance that says every time you go for an office visit, it costs $30, just a flat fee. Okay, you might have something that's called 80-20 coverage, or it could be 90-10 or something like that. This is a type of co-insurance where it says the insurance is going to pay 80% of everything, and then you're going to pay 20% of everything. Or you might have a straight deductible. So for example, say you have a $2,000 deductible. That means that throughout the year, the insurance isn't going to pay for anything until you have paid $2,000 worth of medical bills. So if you go to the doctor and it costs, say, $200, you're going to have to pay that entire bill, and you're going to have to keep paying all your bills until they've totaled up to $2,000. Once you've passed that, then your insurance will start paying for things. Something else you're going to want to ask about or find out about is prescription drug coverage. So if your doctor prescribes medication or if you regularly take medication, you're going to want to find out what type of drug coverage you have. Just knowing that you have drug coverage isn't really enough information. There's a lot of types of prescription drug coverage. So for example, what drugs are going to be covered? Prescription drug coverage doesn't necessarily cover every prescription. Okay. The second point on here says, are the drugs tiered? So you might be able to look online for your health insurance company and see that it says like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So certain drugs may cost you like $5 a month. Certain drugs might cost $10 a month, something like that. So different drugs are going to have a different cost for you when you buy them. Something else, do they require you to use generics? So if you go to the doctor and say they prescribe a drug, say amoxicillin, but then you get to the pharmacy and they say, oh, your health insurance says you can't have this specific one, you have to take the generic of that. And then do you need prior authorization for some drugs? The same way that some health insurance will say, well, you can't get surgery until you get it authorized by your health insurance company, they might say you can't get certain medication unless you can prove that you really need it. Another thing that some health insurance companies offer is they let you be eligible for something called a health savings account or an HSA. So you want to check if you're eligible for that. And then you're going to want to, of course, understand what it is. So a health savings account means that if you are paying these costs for your medical insurance, so for example, say you have that $2,000 deductible, you can then contribute that money pre-tax out of your monthly check or weekly check or whatever and put it in a special account. Then as the year goes by, say you have to pay a doctor bill, then you can submit that to this account and they'll reimburse you for that money. So it's like, as you get paid throughout the year, you're setting aside this money, this $2,000, so that then when the time comes, you have it to pay for those medical bills. When you sign up for medical coverage, they may ask you, what network do you want to be in? Or they might talk about doctors being in network or out of network. In the La Crosse area specifically, we have usually two networks, the Gunderson network and the Mayo network, which simply means that we have two choices of doctors and hospitals. Okay, there's Gunderson Hospital, there's Mayo Hospital, and sometimes they make you choose which one of those is going to be your primary care. Okay, that means choosing a network. Okay, the reason they do that is because then they're going to say, okay, if you go to this network, if you go to Gunderson for everything, that's going to be your network. And those are going to be the doctors that you have chosen. If you try to go to a doctor that's not in your network, they're going to charge you more for that. Sometimes they'll specifically tell you this is your network and you don't have a choice over that. Okay, so what you want to be able to check with is, do you get to pick your network? Are you told which doctors you have to go to? Is the doctor that's your current doctor in that network, or do you have to change doctors? So that's something really important to think about, is if you're choosing a network, which network has your doctor? Which network has better resources available to you? And then the last thing you want to think about is that some insurance companies really do offer you a lot of perks and benefits. They might have a wellness program you can be a part of. They might pay for part of your gym membership. They might offer counseling services. So you should really investigate that. A lot of services or a lot of companies will have a website you can go to, and you can do some research and say, okay, what else can I get from this insurance company besides just health insurance? Because they want you to be healthy so that you don't end up costing them a lot of money to pay for medical emergencies or things like that. So they might offer you a lot of benefits to try to keep you a healthier person. So you should always investigate that website of theirs to see what else is out there for you. Okay, so if you have any questions about insurance, or you have to start looking into insurance on your own, there's a lot of stuff you can find on the internet. You can always send me an email asking me questions, and I'll be happy to help you. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great day, and please take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.